Welcome to Duke University's 2025 commencement ceremony. Please direct your attention to the end of the field and welcome the Duke University class of 2025. Now entering the stadium and throughout the Processional March are the candidates for degrees from Trinity College of Arts and Sciences. Entering now are the candidates from the Pratt School of Engineering. Next, please welcome the candidates from the Sanford School of Public Policy. Now the candidates from the Nicholas School of the Environment. Currently entering the stadium are the candidates from the Fuqua School of Business. Entering now are the candidates from the School of Nursing. Welcome the candidates from the Divinity School. Currently entering are the candidates from the School of Law. Please welcome the candidates from the School of Medicine. Now entering are the candidates from the graduate school. Please rise and remain standing as we recognize the faculties of Duke University, the Duke University Administration, the members of the Board of Trustees, followed by the members of the Platform Party. Now please remain standing for the presentation of our colors by members of Duke University's Air Force ROTC program and the singing of our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and the guns bullets bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let us pray. Light of the world, because of you, morning has broken like the first morning, and we celebrate under the canopy of your luminous creation. We celebrate that light still shines on gray days. We celebrate life. We celebrate love. We celebrate the 100 years of Duke University and the goodness of this graduation, especially when we see those we thought would never make it out of here. We celebrate this marvelous, momentous time with family and friends and the Duke community. Let your light shine on our hearts of gratitude as we give thanks that there is no more tuition to be paid, or loans to be borrowed, or bathrooms we have to use down the hallway. We thank you for the lessons learned and friendships formed and the challenges overcome and the joys shared. We recognize that not all of us scored touchdowns on the green fields of this Gothic wonderland, but some of us received penalties in the classroom or missed field goals in the labs or even got injured by relationships. And yet our hearts are still grateful for those who never went home early from the stands but stood with us and cheered us on through every circumstance of life. Thank you for the caring and committed cloud of witnesses who surround us like this stadium: family, friends, faculty, staff, administrators, and trustees. As we embark on this new road into our future, help us to never travel alone, but to always be in good company as we strive to be all that we can be for the human family. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for everything that we may face on the path ahead. Even if the lightning flashes, the thunder rolls, and the rain pours, give us a peace to know that there can be rainbows after a storm. Let this hope of multicolored light illuminate our lives to become beacons of fluorescent beauty. Let even our wounds be a portal where your light enters us, so that your light shines over the horizon of our future, that we too may rise and shine like the sun. Beam your brilliance on us today, that we might glitter with goodness every day, in such a manner that we not only aspire to go to space with the stars, but sparkle like stars as we make space for one another. With gratitude for the gift of the light of this new day and the precious gift of the class of 2025. Amen. Please be seated.
Good morning, class of 2025. I'm thrilled to join your faculty, families, and many friends in congratulating you on reaching this significant milestone, your commencement. Today is, fittingly, Mother's Day, when we come together in gratitude for the love and the support that sustains us. So in that spirit, let's begin by expressing our appreciation for the mothers, family members, and friends who are with us here today and have supported and guided us. Let's also recognize the exceptional Duke Wind Symphony, our student ensemble, and all the students, volunteers, staff, and faculty who have made today's celebration what it is. Thank you so very much. We will now hear greetings from our student representatives, Danica, Bajaj, and Lucas Vaughan, as well as Academic Council Chair Trina Jones, who will share greetings on behalf of the faculty.
Good morning. And on behalf of the class of 2025, welcome. To our faculty, family, friends, and staff, thank you for being here. And to our moms, hi Mom, happy Mother's Day. You were our first home. Duke was our second. When our class first arrived here, it wasn't just our first day of college. It was a kind of deliverance, a return from the Zooms and Zoom fatigue of the COVID years, from lockdowns, virtual birthday celebrations, loneliness, and that all too familiar refrain, "You're muted." We had been holding our breath. Duke let us exhale. And we didn't take a single moment for granted. We packed Cameron for 2 Final Four watch parties. We danced to Ed Sheeran right here in Wallace Wade. We made lifelong friends out of lab partners, random roommates, and strangers in line for coffee at Vaughan. Maybe because we had grown so weary of being alone, we exulted in togetherness. And maybe because we exulted in togetherness, we built a community more meaningful than we could have even imagined before. And if we could do that in a new place as we emerge from a pandemic, we can do it wherever we're headed next. In our new workplaces, in our new neighborhoods, in every corner of this divided country and world. So if this is what it looks like to come of age in uncertainty, then I feel so lucky it was with all of you. So here's to the class of 2025. Our time at Duke has taught us that the future is not found, it's forged together. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of Duke's graduate and professional students, I welcome our families, friends, and faculty to our 2025 commencement. Over a decade in uniform, including 7 years in Army Special Operations, gave me the privilege of being surrounded by excellence. I worked alongside extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. So when I arrived at Duke, I thought nothing could surprise me. I was wrong. I was surprised by how quickly I was humbled by the caliber of people around me, by how they welcomed me as a peer. At Duke, I found 2 remarkable communities. My International Development Policy cohort included 23 students from 19 countries. My service continued through the Bull City Battalion Army ROTC. 2 distinct communities, one globally diverse, one rooted in American military tradition, both united in a shared ethos of excellence and commitment to service. That shared ethos, excellence, and service drew me into something greater and challenged me to rise to its level. That's what Duke has meant to me. Each of us arrived here carrying a unique flame. At Duke, that flame was shaped, refined, and stoked until it glowed with a deep blue hue. Now, we bravely carry that fire forward with pride and with purpose. I am proud to stand with the class of 2025. And I'm especially proud that today, on our wedding anniversary, my wife, Layla, is here with our daughter, Aya. Aya is my favorite future Blue Devil, and she loves to hear, "Let's go, Duke!"
Good morning. On behalf of the Duke University faculty, I am delighted to offer congratulations to the class of 2025. Other than your loved ones, there is perhaps no one prouder of you today than the professors and instructors who have guided and supported your learning and intellectual growth here at Duke. And our investment in your success will not end with this commencement. Everything you have learned here is now yours to carry with you. The science and technology, history, art, and law. The lessons learned about critical thinking, working across disciplines, and engaging with teams to solve complex problems. All of these are yours to draw on throughout your lives. And as you move into the next phase of life, I also hope you will take inspiration from the words of Nobel laureate Toni Morrison, who wrote, "What's the world for you if you can't make it up the way you want it?" I urge you to use the same intellect and commitment you brought to your studies at Duke to engage actively in the world and to create the world you would like to see. Class of 2025, as we celebrate your graduation, we eagerly anticipate all the ways that you will grow and achieve in your future. Along with your parents, families, and friends, my faculty colleagues and I will be cheering for your success. Congratulations.
Please direct your attention to the video screens for a Centennial tribute performed by Deja Blue.
I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Judge yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Judge yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Oh, the rest is still unwritten.
Thank you again to Deja Blue for that lovely tribute to this extraordinary class. And thank you, Professor Jones, Danica, and Lucas, for those thoughtful words of welcome. This morning's commencement ceremony is both a celebration of the class of 2025 and the continuation of a cherished academic tradition that connects Duke students and alumni across class years and generations. And today's ceremony is special in this regard as we honor the 100th anniversary of the first Duke University commencement, held just months after James B. Duke's indenture of trust sparked the transformation of Trinity College into Duke University. As we conclude our formal celebration of this centennial year, we're also looking forward to the pivotal roles that Duke students, faculty, staff, and alumni will play in addressing the tremendous opportunities and the challenges of the next 100 years. And in doing so, we may find helpful perspective in the life experiences of the class of 1925. In June of 1925, the first students to graduate from the newly named Duke University gathered in Craven Memorial Hall on East Campus, where they were addressed by Curtis D. Wilbur, the Secretary of the Navy. Among the 187 members of the class of 1925 were several individuals of note, including Yasuko Ueno, the first Asian woman to graduate from our university. Graduate student Mike Bradshaw Jr., who was one of the Chronicle writers who was credited with first referring to our athletics teams as the Blue Devils. And Charles E. Jordan, who received his law degree that day and whose lifetime service to Duke and Durham would later be recognized in the naming of Durham's Jordan High School, located just a few miles from here. They and their classmates would go on to live lives of purpose and principle in a variety of settings that would have made our benefactor, James B. Duke, proud. Indeed, at the time of their graduation, the majority of the class reported an intention to pursue teaching, business, medicine, or religious work, paths that aligned very well with the fields that Mr. Duke considered best positioned, in his words, to uplift mankind. The class of 1925 emerged from Duke during the Jazz Age, a dynamic period in American history. Optimism was high, thanks to strong prosperity and seemingly lasting peace following World War I. But the graduates would soon be forced to wrestle with rising social, economic, and political tensions and a general tenor of uncertainty that may seem familiar today. Just a month after that graduation, the Scopes monkey trial, held 400 miles west of here in Dayton, Tennessee, would draw the world's attention to questions of evolution and religion and their place in public schools. Some 4 years later, the Great Depression would result in heartbreaking family hardship and widespread economic devastation with generational consequences. And of course, a decade after the Great Depression, the outbreak of World War II would signal the beginning of some of humanity's darkest days. However, in their lifetimes, the class of 1925 also enjoyed an enormous amount of innovation and nearly unimaginable progress. Consider, if you will, just a few of the wonders they experienced in their lifetimes. The life-saving discovery of penicillin in 1928, which would revolutionize the treatment of bacterial infections. The unprecedented economic growth and prosperity that followed the end of World War II. The advent of home televisions, of commercial aviation, and other technologies that facilitated the flow of information, ideas, and people. And the significant movement, albeit sometimes slow and often uneven, toward equal rights and broader distribution of opportunity in society. The class of 1925 was part of what came to be known as the greatest generation, shaped by hardships and fueled by resilience, honor, and an industrious spirit. Their generation went on to make possible the many remarkable achievements of the 20th century. Class of 2025, in your relatively short lifetimes, the world has already seen transformative developments. including breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, a revolution in media and information sharing, and the introduction of life-changing technologies, including the iPhone and electric vehicles, to say nothing of the air fryer. Okay, not exactly revolutionary, but a big step forward in making chips at home. Well, just as Duke's very first Blue Devils, those members of the greatest generation who commenced into their unpredictable, changing world 100 years ago, today you commence into yours. This changing world will bring challenges, I assure you, including many we cannot foresee today. These will test your resilience, your honor, your industrious spirit. But it will also bring opportunities for innovation and for human progress, perhaps as never seen before. And your generation of Blue Devils will discover and develop the breakthroughs that will define the 21st century. And in that transformative, that life-improving and life-saving work, as alumni of this university, you will carry on Mr. Duke's bold vision for uplifting mankind. In this century to come, may you come to be known as the even greater generation. Congratulations, class of 2025. And I am now delighted to welcome the chair of the Duke University Board of Trustees, Adam Silver, to formally open this commencement for the awarding of honorary degrees.
Mr. President, I am now pleased to declare this commencement open. Duke University awards honorary degrees to recognize extraordinary achievement and service to the world. The candidates for honorary degrees have been enthusiastically approved by the faculty of the university and by the Board of Trustees. Each will be accompanied by a faculty sponsor.
I am now pleased to confer, by the power invested in me, honorary degrees upon 3 exceptional candidates. To today's recipients, we know your example will inspire our graduates to pursue careers of equal principle and purpose. I invite Georgia Tamaris, the A. Geller Distinguished Professor for Research in Immunology, to accompany to the podium Dr. Rebecca Buckley, candidate for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. A native of Hamlet, North Carolina, Dr. Rebecca Buckley earned her undergraduate degree in 1954 before attending medical school at the University of North Carolina. She soon returned to Duke to complete her training in pediatrics and allergy and immunology. What followed was more than 60 years of service on the Duke faculty, during which Dr. Buckley made transformative contributions to pediatric medical care. She is perhaps best known for her groundbreaking research on the use of bone marrow transplants for the treatment of severe combined immunodeficiency, or SCID, which was once known as bubble boy disease. In addition, Dr. Buckley's long-term advocacy resulted in the addition of SCID to the recommended universal screening panel for newborns in all 50 states. When Dr. Buckley announced her retirement, tributes poured in from around the country. One former colleague described her as the most decorated faculty member in the history of Duke's Department of Pediatrics. Another said that she, quote, embodies the physician-scientists we should be striving to be, a deeply caring and thoughtful doctor who at the same time blazed bright scientific and therapeutic paths through a dark wood. Dr. Buckley retired from Duke in 2022 and is now the James Buren Sidbury Distinguished Professor Emerita of Pediatrics. Dr. Buckley, for your extraordinary service and your contributions to pediatric care and medical science, I am delighted to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. I now invite H. Timothy Lovelace, Professor of Law, to accompany to the podium David Robinson II, candidate for the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws. David Robinson II was a recent Howard University graduate when he made history through his arrival at Duke in the School of Law in the fall of 1961. Mr. Robinson and fellow law student Walter T. Johnson, Jr., along with divinity student R.L. Speaks, were the first African-American students to enroll at Duke, only 5 months after the Board of Trustees voted to desegregate the university's graduate and professional degree programs, and 2 years before the university's first black undergraduates would arrive. After earning his law degree in 1964, Robinson became the first African-American attorney to join the legal division at the Federal Reserve. And 3 years later, he was the first to serve in the Office of General Counsel at Xerox. Following nearly 2 decades at Xerox, he retired from corporate law and became the first person to serve as the General Counsel of the 11th Judicial Court of Florida. Today, Mr. Robinson remains active in his hometown of Miami. Mr. Robinson, for your many path-breaking achievements and contributions to the field of law, I'm delighted to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws. I now invite Charlie Gersbach, the John W. Strobane Distinguished Professor of Biomedical Engineering, to accompany to the podium Dr. Feng Zheng, candidate for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. Through invention and innovation, molecular biologist Dr. Feng Zheng has helped produce medical technologies for studying and improving human health that would have been unimaginable to previous generations. As the James and Patricia Poitras Professor of Neuroscience at MIT and a Howard Hughes medical investigator, Dr. Zheng oversees a lab that has played a particularly integral role in the development of revolutionary medical technologies. His early work led to the creation of optogenetics, which helps researchers control neurons with light to gain a better understanding of the workings of the brain. In 2010, optogenetics was named Method of the Year by the journal Nature Methods. A second technology is CRISPR-Cas9-based gene editing, through which researchers can make precise changes to the DNA of living cells. Dr. Zheng's lab has adapted other CRISPR systems as well, which have led to groundbreaking therapies, including Casgevy, which was approved for treatment of sickle cell disease. Dr. Zheng, for your groundbreaking and revolutionary contributions to medical science and human health, I am delighted to confer upon you this honorary degree of Doctor of Science. I now have the great pleasure to introduce a legendary member of the Duke community, your commencement speaker, Grant Hill. Grant Hill arrived at Duke University in the fall of 1990. After being recruited by head men's basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski, who would later describe him as, quote, the most talented player I coached at Duke University. During his time at Duke, Grant and his teammates reached 3 Final Fours and back-to-back NCAA titles in 1991 and 1992. Grant was a 3-time All-American and as a senior was named ACC Player of the Year. And of course, he was responsible for perhaps the most famous assist in basketball history. In the Elite Eight round of the 1992 NCAA tournament, he threw a perfect, nearly court-length pass to set up Christian Laettner's buzzer-beating, game-winning shot. Following his graduation from Duke in 1994 with a double major in history and political science, Grant went on to have a stellar NBA career that spanned 18 seasons. In 2018, he became the first Duke basketball player to be individually inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. His number 33 jersey has also been retired and hangs in the rafters of Cameron Indoor Stadium. But Grant Hill is far more than a star athlete and teammate. He is a leader whose judgment makes him a valued member of numerous governing boards, including our own Board of Trustees. He is a gifted communicator who serves as the color analyst for the lead CBS crew for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. He is a successful business leader and investor and the co-owner of multiple sports franchises. He is the author of a critically acclaimed memoir and an art enthusiast. And along with his wife, Tamia, he is a philanthropist who gives generously to support children and education. Quite simply, Grant Hill epitomizes what we hope all Duke University students will take away from their experiences here. He drew on his natural talents and abilities, applied the coaching and the education he received here as a student, and translated that into what fellow Duke alumnus and broadcaster Jay Billis has described as, quote, the standard for what a complete player and a complete person can and should be. Grant, it's my great pleasure to invite you to address the class of 2025.
Well, thank you. It is good to be home. President Price, fellow trustees, families, and the Duke class of 2025, looking distinguished in your blue robes. Thank you for inviting me to share this magnificent and meaningful day with you. To our entire Duke community, thank you for being a part of our year-long Centennial, celebrating how quickly we have grown from a regional school to a global powerhouse. In university years, 100 is the blink of an eye. Nothing gives me greater joy than being back on this campus. Of all the places I've played and all the jobs I've had, I am most proudest to be known as a Blue Devil. And class of 2025, I am honored to finally get to call you my fellow alumni. Parents, partners, grandparents, siblings, thank you for everything you did to get your graduates to their commencement. It's your day too, and that's especially true for all the moms. To those of you for whom Mother's Day is difficult, I am with you. We lost my mother, Janet Hill, a few years ago, and I loved her, and she loved Duke. My mom was a trustee for 15 years, even painting her nails blue before every board meeting. When she passed away, President Broadhead graciously said she was someone who was quick to rejoice in the talents of others, particularly the young. So, graduates, in her honor as well as in yours, I'm celebrating this Mother's Day by celebrating you. My mom was wise. When I was in middle school, I didn't want to do my homework, and I asked why I even needed to go to college one day. And she told me that college teaches you three things: how to think, how to problem solve, and how to endure. So many times, her wisdom echoed just when I needed it. So let me take you back to one of those times, to 1992, and the baseline of a basketball court. It's a close game. There are just a few seconds left on the clock. I've got the ball in my hands, and I'm ready to heave the inbounds pass to my teammate, Christian Leitner. I reach back, I launch it nearly the length of the court, and watch as Christian catches it. Out of bounds. We lose the game. What? Where did you think I was going with that? It's a true story. A few weeks before what would become known as the shot, we tried that same play against Wake Forest, and we failed. Wake had put a 6'10" defender on me, which took away my angle. So to get it to Christian, I had to curve the pass around him. It didn't work. I remember two things that immediately followed that loss. First, even though it was just a regular season ACC game, the Wake fans stormed the court. And I remember thinking, at Duke, we do that when we win championships. The second is the conversation Christian and I had in the locker room. We talked about what went wrong, and I told him that next time I'll make sure to get some distance between me and the defender. You see, Christian and I didn't hang our heads. We put our heads together. We didn't blame the other team or each other. We didn't pity ourselves. We picked each other up and made sure that we knew that if we ever did it again, we'd do it right. And we couldn't have predicted that our next shot would come so soon or with such high stakes in overtime at the Elite Eight. And when it arrived, we were ready. Not because we were perfect the first time, or because we had thrown that play out and drawn up a new one, but because we learned to think, problem solve, and endure. Mom was right. She respected academia, but revered pragmatism. You can live without Chaucer, and you can live without calculus, my mom would say when I was growing up, but you cannot make it in this world without common sense. And when I moved away from home to come to Duke, she showed me that she always had my back. One Wednesday night, my freshman year, long before cell phones existed, my dad called my dorm and asked to speak to me. My roommate, Tony, answered the phone and told him that I was on a date. That really made my dad angry. He was livid to learn that I was out on a school night instead of studying. So the following day, I got a call, this time from my mom. And she said, no matter where you are, the next time your father calls, make sure Tony tells him you're at the library. One of the best ways my mom shared her wisdom was in a set of principles she took time to write down. She called it her top 10 list of how to achieve success. Don't worry, I'm not going to count down all 10, but I will tell you how it ends. Number 1, always listen to your mother. Even though she's gone, I still do. I still hear her voice. Class of 2025, as much as today is about celebration, I know it doesn't come without trepidation. Outside Duke's walls, the world has changed in so many ways over the last 4 years. And here on campus, after an endless series of tests, it feels like your reward is another one. You've already faced no shortage of them. The exams to get into Duke, the exams to get out, even the daily COVID test you took freshman year, racing to meet the deadline before your Duke card got shut off. And don't get me started on the quizzes you had to pass to get a K-ville tent just for a chance to get into Cameron. And by the way, I understand that someone here successfully answered the trivia question, what time of day was Cooper Flagg born? Respect. And now you face perhaps the most important test, whether you'll continue to live the values you've developed here, even when the world around you often doesn't. How do you hold on to what matters when so much is changing? I know you have some nerves about what it means to close this chapter. I've heard from some of you about it directly, and I know there's some ambivalence about today. I get it. This is a special place. And you might be worried that once you leave this campus, you'll lose this sense of community. You're nervous about finding your way without the people sitting around you right now. So let me assure you, what makes Duke special transcends time and place. Just wait until the first time you see someone wearing a Duke sweatshirt in an airport, and you'll see what I mean. My wife likes to remind me that this isn't normal. She tells me all the time, this isn't a college thing, it's a Duke thing. And last summer, one of my Duke mentors was there for me at a moment I needed him. It was the end of the Olympics, right before the gold medal game against France, the host country. The pressure was immense. We had underperformed at the World Cup the year before and barely made it out of the semifinals against Serbia. I was worried about, I was going to get banished to the island where they exiled Napoleon. So I called Coach K. He was steady and insightful as always. He broke down what happened in the last game, and he shared his own experiences dealing with pressure. He was comforting and encouraging, and I realized even decades later, even an ocean away, he's still coaching me. It was a testament to the strength of what starts here at Duke and stays between us, no matter how far apart we are in time or place. I know that 30 years from now, someone will be telling a similar story about Coach Shire or one of your many brilliant professors. What made Duke special for you wasn't just the fact that you were on the same campus, bonding over tests and tents, or East and West campuses, or Nugget and Peaches. What made this time special was not just a shared space, but shared values: respect, trust, inclusion, discovery, and excellence. What made this community special, one you've helped build and that shaped you in return, is that it's made up of people who mean what they say and do what they say. People who don't just write down their values, but show up with them. Who, over 4 fun but hard years, extended you respect, trusted you, included you, joined you in the joys of discovery and pursued excellence, even when it was hard. That's integrity. In fact, on my mom's top 10, this is principle number 8. Guard your integrity as your most valuable asset, she wrote. Only you can give it away. So here's why I need you to hear this today. Out there in the world you're about to enter, the gap between what's said and what's done is too wide. You will meet people, rely on institutions, and listen to leaders who say all the right things, but when they're tested, they'll run, hide, and fold. I've sat in boardrooms during conversations about commitments to inclusion, but as I looked around the table, I didn't see anyone else who looked like me. I can't help but wonder what possibilities go unrealized in the absence of representation. I've heard people talk a big game in public about respect, but the minute the cameras and microphones are turned off, their language is anything but respectful. I've watched leaders preach about honesty and accountability, but make excuses the minute those values become inconvenient. And I don't know how many mission statements I've read that pledge to make the world a better place, only to end up adding to the pile of broken promises. So many voices are saying they want to do the right thing. Then why does it feel like so few are following through? Graduates, this is your challenge in your next chapter. Help us close this gap. That's what James B. Duke wanted us to do with the school he created. He was motivated by his belief that education should be, in his words, practical as opposed to theoretical. Not just on paper, in practice. Not just dreaming, doing. Don't just list your values, live them. And yes, my mom knew this one too. Number 7 on her set of principles reads, don't be a passenger in life. You see, she knew that values aren't ideas. Values are verbs. To respect means that we give others grace, even if we disagree. To include means that we pull more chairs up to the table. We don't fear different voices. To excel means doing the work, not just talking about the standards. It means performing all at the same high level that got you through Duke, even when no one was watching. Our core values are the principles we honor, even if it costs us. They help us find our way when we're lost. And among the most enduring lessons from your Duke experience are the values you've come to identify with. So as you go forward, remember that will sustain you. What will sustain you isn't where you are, it's who you are. The way to stay connected to Duke is by creating spaces wherever you go, where people are expected to keep their word and held accountable when they don't. Our values require us to take the wheel, so don't be a passenger. So I want to close with one last lesson from my mom. These are the first 3 words of her letter. Don't fear failure. Yes, it's inevitable. Yes, it's how you grow. But there's another reason my mom asked us to do this. Don't fear failure, she said, because success is far more dangerous to the human condition. What exactly did she mean by that? She knew that success without gratitude could make us too comfortable, and that success without fortitude can make us corruptible. Duke students know how to grind. You hustle. You are super achievers. But if all you've known is success, or if you've forgotten what it took to achieve it, you risk becoming obsessed with accomplishments and affirmation. When those become our priorities, something else gets sacrificed, the integrity that makes us who we are. So class of 2025, you are graduating into one of the toughest tests of our time, whether we mean what we say we believe. The world doesn't need more promises, it needs more people who keep them. But I believe you are the ones who can lead us. Your time here has shown you what it's like to be in a community where values are lived. And because no place is perfect, you've used disappointment to sharpen your convictions. You now know with more certainty what you believe and what you refuse to accept. You've learned which fights you'll do anything to win and what you're willing to lose. James B. Duke died 100 years ago. He didn't live to see this university flourish. But in creating something that would outlast him, he left a gap between vision and realization. He left it up to us to close it. My generation has left too much distance between what is said and what is done. From climate change to inequality to politics, we've fallen short. Class of 2025, be better than us. Duke has given you the tools to recognize these problems, the skills to solve them, and the endurance to persist. So listen to my mother and don't fear failure. Instead, fear distance, the distance between the words and the work, between intention and action. That vacuum gets filled by cynicism. It weakens our connections. It corrodes our communities. If you're going to fear something, fear the distance that's growing between us. Our school's second century will be shaped by what happens here in Durham, but it will be co-authored by what you do next. So however far you travel, keep close what you learned here. What you do, not just what you say, reflects on all of us. You are not just alumni, you are stewards. Carry Duke's values forward, carry each other, and let your integrity carry you through the tests to come, and you'll make us proud. Congratulations. Go Duke.
Thank you, Grant, for those inspiring and thoughtful remarks. We're so proud that you are a Blue Devil. It is now my great pleasure to welcome our Provost, Chief Academic Officer, and Alfred J. Hooks Distinguished Professor Alec Gallimore.
Thank you, President Price. Today is a special day for the entire Duke community. This is especially true for our students who have worked so very hard to get here, but also their loved ones who have anticipated this day as they marveled at their accomplishments. Graduates, this is a significant moment, one that has required sacrifice, dedication, and trust in your ability to push yourself forward. You have left Duke a better place than how you found it through your openness to new ideas, experiences, and points of view, your contributions to our vibrant intellectual community, and commitment to dialogue across differences, and your steadfast support for each other, even in the hardest moments. You did it. And this is a moment to celebrate. But make no mistake, this is a moment in a life full of boundless, uncharted, unpredictable moments ahead of you. Take what you have learned and the skills you have developed. Extrapolate what you know now and, letting your curiosity guide you, apply it to all that is to come in your very bright future. Class of 2025, through all you have accomplished at Duke, you have made us so proud, and we know you're just getting started. Congratulations. Mr. President, as the Chief Academic Officer of the university, it is now my pleasure to declare this convocation officially open for the awarding of earned degrees. As they are called, I invite the deans of the schools and the college to present the degree candidates. I call upon Suzanne Barbour, Dean of the Graduate School.
Will the degree candidates of the Graduate School please rise? Mr. President, I am honored to present the talented candidates of the Graduate School who've completed all requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, our highest academic honor, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Fine Arts, and Master of Science.
By the authority vested in me, I am delighted to confer upon you these degrees in the Graduate School and welcome you to the company of those engaged in the continuing search for knowledge. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Mary Klotman, Executive Vice President for Health Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine.
Will the degree candidates of the School of Medicine please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the very talented, passionate, and compassionate visionary healthcare providers, scholars, and leaders of the future. The dedicated candidates for the School of Medicine who have completed all the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Biostatistics, Master of Health Sciences, Master of Health Sciences in Clinical Leadership, Master of Health Sciences in Clinical Research, Master of Management in Clinical Informatics, and Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you these many degrees from the School of Medicine and welcome you to the company of those dedicated to human life and health. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Kerry Abrams, Dean of the School of Law.
Will the degree candidates of the School of Law please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the exceptional candidates of the School of Law who are committed to defending the rule of law and seeking access to justice for all. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degrees of Juris Doctor, Master of Laws in International Law, Master of Laws in Judicial Studies, Master of Laws in Law and Entrepreneurship, and Master of Laws.
By the authority vested in me, I am delighted to confer upon you these degrees in the School of Law, and I welcome you to the company of those committed to the pursuit of truth and justice. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Edgardo Colón-Emeric, Dean of the Divinity School.
Will the candidates of the Divinity School please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the mercy ministering, truth testifying, prophetically praying candidates, soñadores y hacedoras of the Divinity School, who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Ministry, Doctor of Theology, Master of Arts in Christian Practice, Master of Divinity, Master of Theological Studies, and Master of Theology.
By the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you these degrees in the Divinity School, and I salute you as you embark on vocations in service to your high calling. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Michael Ralph, Dean of the School of Nursing.
Will the degree candidates of the School of Nursing please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the exceptional candidates of nursing committed to advancing health equity, to be leaders and innovators for just health care, who have completed all requirements of the Doctor of Nursing Practice, the Master of Science in Nursing, and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
By the authority vested in me, I am delighted to confer upon you these degrees in the School of Nursing, and I welcome you to the company of those who apply their knowledge and compassion to provide skilled care. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Mary Frances Luce, Interim Dean of the Fuqua School of Business.
Will the degree candidates of the Fuqua School of Business please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the industrious, analytical, and collaborative candidates of the Fuqua School of Business who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Management Studies, and Master of Science in Quantitative Management.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you these degrees in the Fuqua School of Business and welcome you to the work of building our economic future through thoughtful and responsible management. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call on Laurie Bonnier, Stanbeck Dean of the Nicholas School of the Environment.
Will the degree candidates of the Nicholas School of the Environment please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the dirt digging ecology and foresters, the always salt-kissed and sometimes seasick marine scientists, the maniacal climate and energy modelers, and the late-night environmental health lab rats of the Nicholas School of the Environment who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Master of Environmental Management, Master of Forestry, and the International Master of Environmental Policy, the joint program between the Nicholas School and the Sanford School of Public Policy.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you these degrees in the Nicholas School of the Environment and welcome you to the vital work of understanding and protecting our natural world. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call upon Manoj Mahanan, Interim Dean of the Sanford School of Public Policy.
Will the degree candidates for the Sanford School of Public Policy please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the future of public policy, the innovative candidates of the Sanford School of Public Policy who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Master of International Development Policy, Master of National Security Policy, and Master of Public Policy.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you these degrees in the Sanford School of Public Policy, and I welcome you to the company of those who seek to transform ideas into policies for our greater good. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. I now call upon Jerome Lynch, Vennick, Dean of the Pratt School of Engineering.
Will the degree candidates of the Pratt School of Engineering please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the inventive, innovative, passionate, CRISPR-using, LLM-loving, and Mars-bound candidates of the Pratt School of Engineering who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Master of Engineering, Master of Engineering Management, and Bachelor of Science in Engineering.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you these degrees in the Pratt School of Engineering and welcome you as you join those in building the future and pioneering new paths for technology. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Last, but certainly not least, I call on Gary Bennett, Dean of Trinity College of Arts and Sciences.
Will the degree candidates of the Trinity College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the analytical and adaptable, the discerning and diplomatic, the perspicacious and principled, polymaths and polyglots of the Trinity College, who completed all requirements for the degrees of the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science.
I am thrilled to confer upon you these degrees in the Trinity College of Arts and Sciences, and I wish you all the best as you pursue careers in search of knowledge and service to the world. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may take your seat.
Congratulations to all of our extraordinary graduates. Throughout your time at Duke, you've already demonstrated that you are well prepared for lives of principled leadership. And in a society that is increasingly interconnected, you will have greater opportunity than ever before to make meaningful change in the world. But remember, you are not going it alone. We are all fortunate to be part of a community of exceptional people of accomplishment and purpose, connected by our shared values, a global Duke family numbering hundreds of thousands strong, and we rely upon each other for help and support, for intellectual challenge, and for fellowship and encouragement to excel. Wherever life takes you from here, whether near to campus or a world away, Duke will always, always be your home. Congratulations again to the great class of 2025. And now, as we close the ceremony, please rise and join me in the singing of our alma mater, Dear Old Duke, led by our student ensemble.